Hey guys, Tanya here. I'm hoping that you guys can hear me okay. Give me a few little taps or hearts or something if you can hear me. My phone was actually, I feel like it was on silent, but I think I have it turned back up now. Hi, Christine. Hi, yes, you're fine. Oh, good. Hi, how are you? Happy Tuesday. Hopefully everybody had a good Labor Day. It was a nice weekend. We actually hit a lot of rain here in South Florida. We had some pretty good storms yesterday, so nice rumbling thunder and lightning, and it was nice to take a nap in, be a little lazy. If you guys want to just type in the comment box what your name is, where you're from. I always like to see where people are joining in from. My name is Tanya Clark. I'm a Melt Method practitioner. Oh, you just left Florida yesterday. It was a nice weekend here. Yeah, it's been really hot and humid, but we got some nice rain yesterday, which really made it a lot more pleasant to deal with. So I wanted to come on quickly today just to talk about some things that I did with my laundry that made a big difference for me. It was probably about gosh, I don't know, like maybe like 7 or 8 years ago that I started really paying attention to the chemicals that were in everything. I mean, everything that we use, body products. I mean, I use lotion every day and different things like that. And I started really paying attention to the chemicals and so forth that were in those products. And so I had actually had a small growth on my pituitary gland, like some inflammation there that my doctor had found in a regular checkup because some hormone levels were off. And so they did an MRI and that little small like adenoma is what they called it. And one of my really good friends said something to me that, was super profound, is that she said to me to start looking at the chemicals and the things that I use every single day. And so, there's a lot of controversy about that because some people are like, oh, it's all pseudoscience and it's just scare tactics and different things like that. But for me, it's just common sense. It's common sense that we shouldn't be putting chemicals that we can't pronounce in our food or in our body products or, in our household cleaning products and different things like that. It's just common sense, if something has a label that you shouldn't ingest or, then you're inhaling it, right? Because how many products do you use that you inhale and you're like, that's pretty intense. So, it's affecting your body. If you can smell it, then it's affecting you on a molecular level. So for me, I just like to be very aware of different things like that. And one of the things that I changed. So true. Yeah, it is. It's crazy when you really think about the chemicals that are in things. And when I was doing health coaching, I used to tell people, because it was mainly a lot about food and different things like that we were talking about. And so I actually, would tell them that something that helped me was that I started reading the labels on everything, the ingredient list, not the label, the things that are, put out marketable and stuff like that, but the ingredient list. And I started to just Google the chemicals that were in there, because you can find the information yourself. You can go to the Environmental Working Group. They have a great website. They actually rate products. The Environmental Protection Agency, you can put in any chemical and you can find out for yourself what that chemical is, what the toxicity levels of it is. You can get a whole, printout of, the scientific toxicity reports that they do on chemicals. So I would definitely highly recommend do a lot of research on your own and cross-reference things. Find out where they're getting their information from, and if there's something that's being said about, oh, that chemical's safe and that's pseudoscience or whatever, then look at where that reference is coming from. Does that person or does that, agency have anything to do with the chemical companies who are making that product, So I think there are a lot of things that we can do as consumers to educate ourselves. And one of the things that we do all the time, we wash clothes, right? So we do our laundry. And tomorrow I'm going to actually come on and scope about what I use for my laundry detergent. But today I just wanted to talk about dryer sheets. And so I would just highly recommend for you to do your own research about the toxicity of dryer sheets. If you have dryer sheets in your laundry room, go pick up the box. Start Googling some of the ingredients in there and those chemicals and just look at what they are. Look at what the toxicity levels are for the body. Are they neurotoxins? Are they hormone disruptors? Do they add to dementia? Like whatever it is. don't be scared. Don't be scared. Now, like the way that I look at it is it's education, right? I mean, like, because if we don't know, I mean, that's okay. But if we can learn something, then I think that that's all the better, because there's so many options out there, you know, for the clothes. And one thing that I use is dryer balls. I mean, you see, like I've had this one for a really long time, probably almost a year, but they're wool dryer balls. So they help to keep your clothes soft and static free. I mean, you know, you have a little bit of static, like when I first pull my clothes out of the dryer, I can just like run my hand across my shirt, like, you know, kind of run it down my shirt, and all the static is gone. It's not a big deal. It's not like I have socks sticking to my shirt or, you know, anything like that. But which, you know, could be the case with other, you know, I mean, there's ways that you can make your own dryer sheets. You can actually make your own wool dryer balls. I mean, I don't have the patience for that, but they're just 100% wool dryer balls. So they're eco-friendly. I actually just put some lavender oil on it, especially nice, like with my sheets. Like I literally just like open up my lavender, and this is just lavender I bought from Whole Foods, but I just like drop it on there, you know, and I just like drop like 6 little drops on there, and then I pop that. I usually have 3 of them in my dryer. And I pop that in there. My clothes smell awesome. They feel great. And I actually have a lot less headaches and skin irritations than what I used to. So, you know, those are different little things that I did, and bringing it back to the last time that I had the checkup, the MRI for that pituitary adenoma, they don't see anything anymore. And so at the point that that was found, you know, like 7 years ago, I mean, I was like, protein shakes and protein bars and different things like that. They weren't organic. I was just, you know, things that would say healthy. That was a time of really intense learning for me, as far as understanding what is in things, and what the ingredients are, instead of looking, you know, if we're talking about food, thank you. If we're talking about food, you know, it's just making sure that we can read the ingredients, that it's actually whole foods in the list. You know, when it comes to like things that we put on our body via our clothes or lotions or anything like that, like, I mean, to be able to do things more naturally, I just think is a better way to do it. So if there's a natural way that you could, you know, have your clothes smelling good, and, you know, instead of using toxic dryer sheets, I figure why not? Like, right? I mean, who cares what everybody's saying, or, you know, this pseudoscience or that pseudoscience? I mean, just Google a chemical and look at the chemical, and if that chemical is in something that you're using, why not just get rid of it? You know, I actually have a really great thing that I use. I use soap nuts for my thank you. So glad I'm okay. Oh yeah, you know, and I haven't felt better, and it's just been like such an awesome learning process over the past 7 years of really, you know, kind of understanding what is in things. You know, and there's so many products out there that we use. There are just a lot of chemicals, and there are a lot of great options to get those chemicals out of your life, you know. And so for me, because obviously I'm doing laundry every day, and so the dryer balls, the wool dryer balls, were a nice alternative for me, that I felt a lot better about what I was using, you know, just as an everyday product in my life. So the wool dryer balls, very, very cool. And they're actually called sheep. I have their phone call. I really have to keep reminding myself to put my phone on silent or do not disturb. I think maybe do not disturb would keep the phone calls from coming in. But on my website, the Dancing Soul, SOUL.com, I have a page on there called Amazing Things, and I love to share things that I love and that work for me. I figure, you know, that's kind of what we're here for, and if we can have an avenue to share. So I have the wool dryer balls, and they're Smart Sheep. Smart Sheep is the name of it, but it's all the way down at the bottom. I'll actually grab this really quickly and I'll show you, but it's the bottom. So my website is here, the Dancing Soul. It's over here, Amazing Things, and then all the way down at the bottom, right here, the third one in, are the wool, the sheep. Smart Sheep wool dryer balls. And so I'm just gonna put this back up here. So excuse me for 1 second while I get that up there. back around. Okay, perfect. I'm back. So that's it. I just wanted to come on and do a quick little product highlight. Wool dryer balls are a really nice way to kind of eliminate some chemicals from things that you use in your house every day. Because we don't want neurotoxins, we don't want hormone disruptors, we don't want, you know, anything like that in our dryer sheets, right? Like what we're using on our clothes, right? We're using them to get them clean. So why do we want to add more chemicals to them? So wool dryer balls, pretty cool little guys, so that's what I love to use for my instead of fabric softener and dryer sheets. So I would love to know if you guys have anything that you love, or if you have never thought about it before. That's also good too. I'd like to know if this is kind of like the first little time that you've thought about maybe what's in your dryer sheets. So that's about it. I just wanted to come on quickly. So if there are no questions or anything, then I will come back tomorrow. It is for you. So it's the first time that you've heard about that. Yeah, it's amazing when you start doing research, and don't let it scare you. Like, you could really start freaking yourself out because there really are a lot of chemicals in everything that we use. So don't let it be a matter of letting it freak yourself out and being afraid to use anything. I think it's just a really great opportunity for education for ourselves, that we can educate ourselves as consumers as to what we're putting in or on our body. And like I said, about bath soap and shampoo too. Yeah, you should really just check into that and start investigating the products that you use every day. The first thing that I would recommend doing is just go into the ingredient list and Google some of the ingredients. That's what I would do, and just see what those ingredients are. And then, you know, maybe I'll come back and do some more scopes about different products that I use, because I definitely love doing product highlights, you know, like the salt lamp, the Himalayan salt lamps that I love to use because they create positive moods. And then I have some really awesome body products that I love. I mean, at one point I was making my own products and it just got to be too much for me, you know, like, I mean, I had more product stuff to make in my kitchen than what I was actually cooking or anything to eat. So it just became a little much as far as that for me. So I just decided to, you know, Google some really good products, and there are some good products out there. There are some really conscious companies that are trying to, you know, do right by consumers. So I think that that's always a nice thing, is just to start doing research, because I think education is power. Education's power. And I think that, you know, if we know what we're doing and why we're doing it, then I think that that's a good thing. I think we can never hurt ourselves in that way. So yeah, so maybe if this was your first introduction to starting to talk about chemicals and different things that are in your food or your products, like, just start with your dryer sheets. Make it easy. Start with your dryer sheets. See what's in the dryer sheets. Do a little Google search. Environmental Working Group, you know, is a great website for ratings on products. And then don't just stop there. Go do more research from there. Don't limit yourself just to one place. Look and see where those references were for that article. Go to those people. Then what were their references? And I think, like, let it just be more of like a fun experiment for you to see how, you know, what you could clean up in your life, and just start with the dryer. Just start with your dryer sheets. We'll start with the laundry this week. So I'll come back on tomorrow, probably like around 9:30 a.m. I'm gonna come on and talk about what I use for my laundry detergent, and they work so well. And I put like lemon oil, essential lemon oil, on the little soap nuts. They're really actually quite cool little soap nuts. So I'll come on tomorrow and talk about those. So yeah, so not only do I love to help people feel better getting out of pain via the melt method and Pilates and yoga and different movement therapies, but I also love to teach people about what I've learned personally through my own health journey, about some of the chemicals that are in our lives every day that maybe you didn't even know were there. So yeah, so if you guys don't have any questions or comments, if you liked what you heard, you can give me some hearts. That's always nice. If you're not following me, Tanya Clark, I'm a Melt Method practitioner and lover of all things self-care, living our best life, and really just loving everything that we can do to kick in our body's own healing mechanisms, and But you can find me at The Dancing Soul, SOUL.com. I do Skype sessions with my clients. I give actually really great discounts on Skype sessions as well. And then I am on Facebook and Instagram, The Dancing Soul, and then on Periscope and Twitter at Dancing Soul Blog. So if you're not following me, follow me. I'll follow you back, and we'll just keep sharing all this good information about living our best lives and cleaning up our lives when and where we can. I think that that's always a good thing to do. So sheep, wool dryer balls, get the little ba. So they're really cool. You can put whatever essential oils you want. If it's something that you're going to be, you know, like your workout clothes and you want to have like more energy when you go work out, then maybe put some peppermint oil on there. You know, some peppermint oil would be good. I like to put lavender oil on them for my dryer sheet. I mean, for my bedding. So yeah, so just a little talk about how you could clean up your laundry. Pizza Pop-Tart, you just joined. Thank you for the hearts. I was just talking about cleaning up our laundry via dryer sheets, throwing out the dryer sheets that could potentially be full of chemicals. And then I like to use my wool dryer balls. You missed it all. That's okay. Well, I'll go over and hi, Desiree. I see that you just joined. I was talking about chemicals in the dryer sheets that you have. So as an experiment, oh, you don't use anything. That's perfect too. That's perfect too. So I was just talking about, you know, what I did to clean up mine, because there are a lot of chemicals in dryer sheets. Hi, Desiree. Is that I use wool dryer balls. And then I put like, you know, for my bedding, I put, lavender essential oil on the dryer balls because it just makes it smell really awesome. And so, yeah, so I was just talking about how you can just, you know, I do a lot of research. Anything that you use, just we were talking about dryer sheets specifically today, but if you don't use dryer sheets, tomorrow I'm going to talk about laundry detergent. And so sometimes we don't just, you know, we're not aware of the chemicals that are in things. And I just had some health issues a couple, you know, like 7 years ago that warranted for me to start looking at what is in my everyday life that I'm using the most of, and could there potentially be anything in there that's harming me? And so, you know, that's all I did is I just started looking. And so I found that, you know, one of the common things that we do every day with our dryer sheets, we're always using them, that there are a lot of toxic chemicals in them. And so I was just also talking about don't limit yourself to one research site. You know, Environmental Working Group, Environmental Protection Agency. There's a company, Bubble and Bee. She has great products that she hand makes, and she has a great website, part of her website that she does a chemical of the day. And you can go in there and search any chemical. Desiree, so you're trying to clean up your mom's home. You know, and I was telling somebody earlier, like it can be overwhelming to do that. Like she was saying, oh my gosh, I'm scared now, like all these things. But I feel like don't let it be scary. I feel like what an honor, like what an opportunity that we get to have, that we have access to so much research at our fingertips. Oh, your home. Oh, sorry. Your home. So you're trying to clean up your home. What do I think of bleach? Yeah, I mean, I don't use it because for me, just the common sense, the smell is so volatile for me. It does not make me feel good. And so therefore I don't use it. But what I would suggest, because what works for me may not work for other people. It's toxic. But do your research, go do some research, Google bleach. And what I would recommend is not just look at one website. Really look at a bunch of different websites, right? And just look up that process, that chemical. And I love to use vinegar and water and lemon oil and lavender essential oil for tons of things in my house. I mean, I always have a spray bottle, and I fill it with water and vinegar, and you can look up recipes for, specific things. They have all kinds of cleaning solutions, with baking soda or even vodka, to clean, just depending on what it is. If you're degreasing, if you're cleaning a mirror, whatever it is, but there's lots and lots of great, avenues out there for you to kind of teach yourself more ways, cleaner ways that you could do things. So yeah, one of my everyday household cleaners is vinegar And is it really toxic? I mean, if you eat it, yeah, but then there's no bad germs left. I mean, I guess it just depends on the way you look at it. I mean, I just kind of figure that, but what about the germs on your body that you need, that are good for you, that actually keep your immune system working well, right? I mean, like, you could even talk about all the preservatives that are in our food, like all of those boxes of food that just sit on the shelf aisles in the grocery store, all of those preservatives that are keeping that food from going stale. Those preservatives are also messing with your natural flora in your gut, which, I mean, we have more serotonin produced in our gut than we do our brain. So my whole thinking is just, why would we want to kill good bacteria that could potentially be on our body? Well, you're not bleaching your body. That's good. But that's the thing, is that, you absorb things through the skin. You absorb things when you inhale. So that would just be the only thing that I would do some research on, is that, are there better ways that you could have alternatives to bleach, and so that would just be, if it's something that interests you. If it's not something that interests you, I say just let it go in one ear and out the other. You use bleach once a month for your sink. Yeah, I mean, maybe you could use, some baking soda and some vinegar or something like that. I mean, I think that there are a lot of really good things out there. And if it doesn't bother you using the bleach, then, if that's something that is not a concern to you, then that's the thing that I feel is the most important. But I think that anything that sparks your interest of being like, what is this really? And what would this do to my body? And are there any alternatives? I think that that's a good thing. I can't smell, born without it. Oh, you can't smell. So you may not be aware of how strong the bleach is then if you can't smell it. Wow, interesting. So you were born without that sense? You can't smell anything at all? That's interesting. I don't know if I've ever met anybody that was born without that. Nothing. Wow. So it might warrant you just to do some research on bleach. And if you only use it once a week for your sink, maybe just see if there's something else that would be a good alternative to that, to the bleach. Because I think especially if you can't smell it, you're not really going to be aware then perhaps of how volatile it is to smell. Because for me, like, bleach is like, if my boyfriend uses bleach to clean his kitchen counter, and I literally have to get out of there because it's super strong. Really strong chemical smell. Yeah, exactly. Really strong. No biggie. You're just scared of fires. Yeah, that's a good thing to be scared of. So yeah, I mean, I think this is great conversation. I think that anytime we can just have conversation about, different ways of doing things, or even maybe just asking the question, why do we do something? When did we start using this? But yeah, I think it's just all good information to know. Exactly. That's a great comment. It's just all good information to know. So just do some research, and, today specifically, if you have dryer sheets, just go get your dryer sheets and look at the ingredient list and just Google a couple of the ingredients in there, particularly the ones you can't pronounce, and just see what comes up. And then, yeah, baking powder, baking soda, vinegar, essential oils. I mean, you can literally just Google the recipes for making your own household cleaning products. And there was actually a great article, and I think it was a Simple Living magazine. And they had 3 pages of different cleaning products that you can make, all out of, rubbing alcohol, baking soda, vinegar, vodka, and then essential oils. So they were all really good. I mean, everything from cleaning your wood floors. I mean, I clean my wood floors with vinegar, water, and lemon and lavender essential oils, and it works fantastic. I also clean my counters with that, different things like that. So maybe this has given me some inspiration to do some more scopes on different things that I use, because I usually make my own cleaning products now. And then, like, for the laundry, like, I just buy the wool dryer balls. If it's something that you're into, you could make your own wool dryer balls. You could just buy wool. You could Google, and there's YouTube videos on how to do that. But for me, it was just easier. I mean, I could buy them on Amazon, but you can get them on my website, The Dancing Soul. I'm an affiliate for Amazon. And if that's not something, if the wool dryer balls don't appeal to you, then just, Google something else. Just Google different ways. I just think that you use water for everything. I hate to be a consumer. Yeah, I gotcha. I think that the less carbon footprint we can leave, the better. So that's why I just think using things that are, if it's not only just for yourself, but think of the earth, all the chemicals that we have out there that we're putting into the earth. And there was even some research done on the exhaust from dryer vents. So if it comes from a fossil fuel, plant, then they have to actually, they're required, regulated by law to measure that and to keep track of that, the emissions coming out of that. But our household dryer vents aren't. And it's very interesting when you start Googling and finding out some of the information about the toxicities, the emissions that are coming out of dryer vents. Out of people's homes. So I just think, if not for ourselves, think of the earth and the planet and how we want to leave this planet. You've seen an artist that does stuff with the dryer lint. Oh, super cool. My boyfriend is an artist, so he loves doing paper collages and using different things like that. But that's very cool with the dryer lint. Yeah, so good stuff. Thank you guys so much. Like, this has been a great conversation. And like I said, I love talking with people, and I love learning about new things in different ways, and especially, just kind of cleaning up things as best we can. I definitely believe in the natural way of doing things, and I like to be able to pronounce what is going on my body and what is going in my body. Thank you very much for passing it on. Yeah, if you like this, you can share it with your friends or followers or whatever. And, the replay will be available for 24 hours. You can find me over at The Dancing Soul, SOUL.com. Go to my Amazing Things page, and that's where you'll find the wool dryer balls. And then tomorrow I'll come back around 9:30 in the morning, and I'll talk about what I use for my laundry detergent. Okay? Thank you guys so much. Thank you for the hearts. Thanks for the great conversation, great questions. I just love this stuff that stimulates our thinking. So thank you guys very much. Have a great day. And until tomorrow, ciao. Thank you.